Hey everyone, Sam Rathmeyer here with the Wednesday Night Wine Club. This is the white wine video for March 2022. Let's get into it. Alright, I'm thrilled about the white wine for this month. This is coming from Bernard and Benoit Landron. This is a father and son winemaking duo. Benoit came on in 2008 and really has so vastly improved the quality of these wines. That was around the time that they started employing organic practices in the vineyard. This is a wine that it's called Melon de. This is a couple things about this wine. First, it's coming from an area in the Loire Valley called Muscadet. Muscadet is a appellation or a winemaking region basically at the mouth of the Loire River that empties out into the Atlantic. And in the past, historically, the muscadets that were made there tended to be aged on the spent yeast cells. You'd see on the label, it would say surly. And surly aging kind of created this oxidative style of wine. The wines were very nutty, but really lean. Like biting into an apple that had been sitting, a cut green apple that had been sitting out on the counter for a week, and then biting into a lemon at the same time. Not something that I particularly liked. These wines are basically oyster wines. That's like kind of their claim to fame, mainly because of where the wine is grown. That whole area, it's what grows together goes together, right? So oyster is a big part of the cuisine in the Loire. However, that has all started to change, and that's really just a preference. People went from really liking that style of wine, our tastes changed, and I would say in the last 10 years, you're starting to see you are starting to see a shift from the wines going less of that nuttiness and more of this fresh, zippy acidity with lemon and green apple, but not that oxidative note. And this is a wine that I would actually refer to as a vin de soif. So there's two types of wines that are coming out of France. There's the vin de garde, and vin de garde would be Burgundy or really great Champagne or Bordeaux, first growth Bordeaux, right? Wines that require a tremendous amount of time of aging in order for them to come around, the grand wines of France. Well, vin de soif is kind of the antithesis of that. They're wines that are meant to be drunk young, they're meant to be drunk now. The English version equivalent would be porch pounders, right? Just something that you rip, you drink the entire bottle, you're hanging out with friends, it's delightful. In fact, the best way that I can actually kind of describe this vin de soif idea is, you know, little Modelo. There's not much ceremony to it. It's just, oh God, it's so good. So good when it hits your lips. That's kind of what these wines are. Now, apples and oranges to try to compare the two, because actually the quality of this far superior than Modelo. But it's the intention behind the wine. It's not something that is reverential. You don't, everyone shut up, let's taste this, you know, incredibly expensive wine. It's something that you open, you pour, God, this is really good, and then you continue on with whatever it is that you're doing. It's also, you know that they're vin de soif because, as you can see, but the label is playful. Clearly, they're holding two oyster shells in their hands, but the way that they're doing it, you know, kind of implying, you know, boobs, and you can tell. Again, you can almost kind of read these wines by their label, judging a book by its cover. Usually when the labels are playful, these are wines that are meant to be enjoyed kind of in this vin de soif arena. Again, which I think is super important, because I don't want to drink wines like Bordeaux every single time. Sometimes I just want a beer, or I want a wine that's just going to quench my thirst. And I don't need it to do much more than that. All right, so let's try this. Melon, it says Melon de there. Melon is actually the name of the grape variety. Muscadet, we tend to order a Muscadet the same way that we order a Sancerre. And there isn't necessarily the connection that, well, Sancerre is Sauvignon Blanc. and Muscadet is actually a grape variety called Melon de Bourgogne. There are hypotheses that this is actually a grape that was originated in Burgundy. None of that matters except for the fact that it is grown and grown exceptionally well in Muscadet. These wines are very lean. They are briny, they're salty. Oh yeah, and this, we get a little bit of that white flour, but I smell this and I start to salivate. This is just refreshing. It's kind of hot today. I don't even know what the date is, but it's hot today. And this is the perfect kind of white wine that if you're hanging out by the pool, if you have oysters, still this is like crazy good oyster wines, fresh, crisp green salads. They're delightful. And you know, there's also something too about the fact that these aren't overly complex. This isn't picking up War and Peace on your way to the bathroom. This is more like a comic book. Equally entertaining, maybe a little bit easier to read, a little bit more enjoyable, and you know, you're able to get through it a little bit quicker on your way to the bathroom. So if you, oh yeah, man, it's kind of getting that herbaceous thing too. Just these phenomenal winemaker. Really where this comes in, you get that bright citrus with the green apple. It is salient, it's salty, and I mean, oysters, definitely craving some oysters right now. These are wines that are meant to be enjoyed over laughter. I hope you enjoy this wine as much as I do. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Let me know what you pair it with. Cheers.